Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning for those of you that are joining from the US. Thank you very much for joining us today for our live stream series, taking a look at the APIs or data feeds that are available by Barchart. I am Michael Brown, Head of Commodities at Barchart, and I am joined today by Simon Haslam and Henry Dewing. I'll let each of them give a quick introduction, and then we'll start in the content. Simon.
Hi everybody, good afternoon. Simon Haslam, for those who know me, founder of Ocean Trading Services. Looking forward to spending time with you today to go over the Barchart APIs and listening to see how Henry from Dewtrade has used them. Over to you, Henry.
Yeah, hi, I'm the founder of Dewtrade, and yeah, looking forward to going through how we use Barchart's data to present to our customers here within Dewtrade and Dew and Grain. So over to you, Michael.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks guys. So let's go ahead and hit the content. First of all, you can have all the APIs that you want, but without a deep data set, the APIs don't do much for you. So let's take a look at the data ecosystem that Barchart has available. We have all the global major exchanges around the world. So whether you need ICE or CME or Euronext or Bursa Malaysia, BMNF in Brazil, you name it, we've got market data from those exchanges. We also have very deep fundamental data from all the major reporting agencies. That could be USDA or the US Census Bureau, maybe it's Eurostat or Stat Canada. Even things like EIA and Baker Hughes on the rig count reports and things like that. So it's very deep from a supply and demand fundamental data standpoint, and not just ag but other commodities as well. And then we also have a network of third parties that provide us with market data and content, more specialty data. So this could be things like Platts, Clipper market data, Mintech, which is a food and bev ingredients data provider. We have Macaris, which is organic and NGMO pricing, Urnerberry around the proteins, and so on. One big partner is cmdty, who provides us with over 3,000 data points daily on global cash prices at major ports. And we also have equity indexes and fundamentals. And then Barchart is really big in our proprietary data. We'll talk more about this in a minute, but agricultural data, with grain bids and indexes, weather data, not just what is the forecast, but what are all the elements that go into building models, for example, yield and forecast models or other things like that. And then also deep data sets around energy, like crude oil pipeline posting, price posting, rack fuel prices, and even retail fuel prices. And then metal data as well, scrap metals and precious metals at global mints. So one of the real key areas for us is our cash grain bid data. In the US and Canada, that covers 4,000 grain buying locations, both spot prices and as many forward delivery periods that elevator is bidding for. So if they're bidding out to October of 2022, we'll have bids for the next year and a half for that particular grain buying location. Those cover corn, beans, wheat, barley, canola, and a variety of other commodities. As I mentioned, we also have 3,000 data points, FOB and CIF prices at all the major import and export terminals globally. So very strong around the cash bid data. But we don't stop there. We take that cash bid data and we create value-added enhanced price and basis indexes, if you will. So we take each of those 4,000 locations, we assign them a weighting value, and that can be based on the size of the elevator. If it's an ethanol plant, it can be based on their annual production. If they have direct ship relationships, so it's a small elevator, but for delivery to ADM, they're going to get a larger weighting. So we take each of those weightings and that elevator's prices, and we calculate weighted average price assessments and basis assessments from the county level up to the property reporting district, to the state, regional, and national levels. And those are available on spot month and a 12-month forward curve. So you can look at a 12-month forward curve for any particular county in the U.S. For either basis or price. So very, very deep data set. Similarly, we also calculate our own yield and production forecasts. For last season, it was corn and soybeans for the U.S. This year, we are adding wheat to that and Canada regionally. We have developed our own crop masks, so we'll be able to scale those models on a global basis and take that modeling to South America, Australia, Europe, the Ukraine, and so on. So soon we will have not only U.S. and Canada crop yield and production forecast, but a global crop yield and production forecast. Those two start at a very granular level. In the U.S., that's at the county level and all the way up to national. And it'll be similar on our global forecast as well. So let's talk about the APIs. We have really three different areas here that we're going to talk about today. Our on-demand APIs, which are REST APIs, our streaming APIs, and our digital solutions, which are more JavaScript based. The widgets basically that you can just drop into your website, portal, or application. We take a look at the on-demand APIs. These are available real-time, delayed, end of day, or historical, all different classifications of the frequency of the data update. So we're really flexible depending on your needs and what you need to provide no more or no less than is necessary to power your application. So some of the things that you can do with these, you can power charts with real-time and historical data. You might want to integrate live market data into your website or customer portal. Do that. You can simplify your current data strategy. So if you're getting a lot of data sets from numerous providers, there's a good chance that we can take all of that different disparate data and provide it in a single unified normalized data feed so that you're working with one protocol. So a lot of that can be streamlined and simplified and fed right into your back office, whether that's risk systems, market systems, procurement applications, and so on. You can also build very cool dynamic apps and tools powered by Barchart's on-demand APIs. These might be apps that you want to provide to your producers, for example, and you want to provide them with live market data. So that's available. Maybe there are tools that you want to provide to your procurement department and do calculations and provide that information via an app or a portal to your buyers. So any number of different apps and tools that you can build. You decide, dream what you want to build, we can power that for you. And finally, one of the real key benefits here is we are built to scale. So you can not only get to market faster with our solutions, but we can grow with you. As your user base grows, we're there to support you, and we've got all the scalability and muscle to grow with you. All the APIs are cloud-based, so we deliver those through Amazon Web Services. They're platform independent, so we support GET and POST, as well as SOAP requests. The formats of the data return can be in XML, can be in JSON, which is the more popular today, or even CSV. So all sorts of opportunities in there. So whatever you're working with, whatever tools, protocols, languages you're working with, we can support that. And then finally, we're fully redundant. That really comes without saying when using Amazon Web Services. But we can also have dedicated servers for you as well in our colo locations. Okay, some applications require not a snapshot feed like the on-demand APIs, but a streaming API, and those are available as well. So we can deliver .NET, Java, or WebSockets APIs. Again, whatever works better for you, and those can be again used to power back office systems that need streaming data, perhaps applications or your own software trading platform for that matter. We can support any of those requirements. The Barchart Stream APIs are available both as server-side components for large institutional clients, or more simple client-side components for app developers or independent software vendors. So if you're developing your own software solution that you're going to sell out to the market, we can feed that with our streaming API through our ISV or independent software vendor partnership. And then finally, we have digital solutions. So these are more JavaScript oriented solutions, HTML5 oriented solutions that you can basically drop into your application or portal or website and be up and running in a very, very short period of time. These can include everything from quotes, news, and charts to a very professional level interactive charting tool that we have available. You can deploy market data alerts, so as a potential upgrade path for your users. They can register maybe as a premium user and set market alerts and get notified via text and email when those alerts are triggered. We also have solutions like allowing your clients to set up a custom watch list. So rather than just providing a template of futures that they can watch, they can actually set their own watch list, and they can even build a portfolio with our digital solutions. So they can buy 5 contracts of corn, 12 of soybeans, short 3 wheat, and build that portfolio and manage and watch that portfolio on a daily or hourly or real-time basis for that matter. The digital solutions are all responsive in nature. So design it once, use it in other devices. So if you drop this in your website, it's going to be responsive to your mobile device. It's fully accessible from anywhere. And just like the on-demand and streaming APIs, it's fully scalable. So you will grow as your user base grows. Okay, with that, I am going to turn it over to Simon Oslam for a review of Blue Ocean and a little history on them and what they're working on today. Simon.
Okay, thank you, Michael, for going through the details of the APIs and the various data delivery mechanisms. Michael asked me to give an overview of Blue Ocean trading services. So I've prepared a few slides that I'll go through quickly for you. The core services that we have at Blue Ocean Trading, we're basically for ag and soft traders a one-stop shop, providing trading technology tools for ag, soft, and energy traders to make better trading decisions. The main systems, the main softwares that we sell are market data systems, so price screens, such as Blue Ocean Commodity View. Order execution platforms, so obviously very key with the changing world. Everybody wants one system, one platform to do pre-trade risk, execution, and post-trade risk all on the same platform. So Commodity View is a great product for that. Advanced charting and technical analysis. We run webinars on training on technical analysis and charting on a quarterly basis. Which are very popular. We have a weather mapping tool working closely with Marcus Weather Mapping, which is a white label product, Blue Ocean Weather Mapping. And we have various reports and consultancy services amongst our services to the ag, softs, and energy traders. So those are the core services. Some of the present and past technology companies, fintech companies that we've been representing are here. There's a few family names there. CQG, where I spent the lion's share of my career, for about 16 years, running their international division in Europe and Asia. Okay. Some of the key accounts, quite a few family names there. We probably spend 80% of our time with ag and soft clients, 20% on energy. So you'll see quite a few familiar names there. including I think there's, not wanting to single out, but I think Good Mills is there. I think Scott might be with us today. So hello, Scott. And all the usual ABCDs that are there in Europe, South America, and Asia. The way we go about our business historically has been attending many of the industry trade shows in Asia, Europe, and South America. Again, with an emphasis on ags, grains, softs, and energy. Obviously, with the present environment, we've had to adapt, which has been great. I think using different ways of getting our products out in the last 12 months has given us a good shake-up, and we are looking forward to attending more trade shows, hopefully when things are in a better situation. But, these are the typical trade shows we've attended in the past. Okay, and I think this might be one of the final slides here, Michael. We have clients in over 60 countries. We've built the business since 2009, starting off in Europe, where most of our people are based. We have staff in Australia, in Japan, Singapore, Russia, UK, and France. And we're looking for people at the moment in South America, Brazil, and South Africa. So feel free to introduce me to people in those markets if you know anybody who would like to work with us at Blue Ocean Trading Services. We have strong relationships with service providers as well as the exchanges. Historically, we always attend the European Commodity Exchange with the CME group, providing our screens and technology on the CME stand. So that's an overview of Blue Ocean Trading Services. Thank you for listening.
Oh, you might be on mute, Michael.
Good catch.
Indeed, I was. Henry, want to give us some background on Do Trade and Doing Grain, please?
Yes, sure. Firstly, I'll just quickly say, Simon, if you're looking for people in Brazil, I could potentially put my hand up for that one. That's good.
Good time of year with Carnival.
Or South Africa. Yeah, so I'm Henry Dewing and the founder of Do Trade, and as it says Dewing Grain next to my name, and you've got Dewing Grain under there, they are my family's business and the first customer of Do Trade, and they're a grain trading merchant based in the UK. And next slide, I think. So Do Trade, what we do is we build customizable wholesale and trading apps for people within the industry of things like, grain, millers, breweries, within the food industry, who want to better connect with their customers and take that leap forward into the 21st century and offer that more digital approach, which is the way the world is as we can see going. And yeah, like I said, Dewing Grain is a national grain trading merchants, and they wanted to modernize their approach, which came off the back of my idea and off the back of that a business. And we're yeah, like I say, family run. My father is the CEO, and my brother's a senior trader in it, and my auntie keeps the books, things like that. But there's other people as well. And Do Trade and Dewing Grain worked alongside each other with the help of Barchart to help take a traditional business into the 21st century. Next slide. This was, I thought I'd just grab a couple of screen grabs of what their app looks like. Very simply outlaid, but this is what we're talking about today. I thought I'd bring in the key bits from there of how some of the data looks on there, and how we obviously we're going to go through how we kind of pull that across and to make it more visual for our end users. But that's what it looks like from a standpoint, and all of that data you see on there is being pulled from via API from Barchart. So yeah, that's an introduction into us.
Great, thank you, Henry. I maybe ask you kind of initially, what was your kind of a initial project here, and how did you, what were you kind of looking for in terms of determining, what kind of data, what kind of product, what were the challenges that you had when you initially launched DuTrade?
Yeah, sure. So the initial idea wasn't meant to actually have a business off the back of it for DuTrade. It was meant to be solely just for Dew and Grain, to better connect with their customers, offer all of their customers all of the information and the ability to make a decision from their pocket. So the idea was that every farmer calls up Dew and Grain, and firstly, they don't just call up for a price, they call up for a 10-15 minute chat, which is fine and nice, but it's quite time consuming. But it was what they ask is they ask for the prices, and if we can offer them something which they can carry around in their pocket, and with the average use of mobiles being 3 hours 25 of above 25-year-olds a day, it made sense to offer our customers something where they can see the prices really quickly and easily. And in terms of what we chose within it, it's a case of speaking with the traders here and thinking what markets do they use, and then speaking to the farmers, the end users as well, thinking about what markets would they want to see in there. So the whole what the idea was off the bat was to offer our customers an information source. And otherwise, sometimes they have to, if they don't look on the computer, some of them are very old school and they just wait for Farmers Weekly magazine, which is a weekly run magazine, to come out with the prices in. So very old school, but yeah.
Okay. Right, that brings back some memories. Yep. And could you explain to everybody how the Barchart API has helped you, and the kind of your experience with Barchart in setting up the DuTrade app, in terms of information, in terms of customer experience?
Yeah, so through the introduction from yourself, Simon, and Blue Ocean into Barchart, they very much looked after everything that we needed in terms of what we wanted to offer on the app. So the specific markets, we could pull all of the data that we needed via the API and present it in a fashion that's easily read, as you can see on the screens below. So it just solved that problem all in one hit. Basically, it wasn't going to loads of different places. It was just very quick, going to one company, and it was just pulled straight through and put into exactly the format that you can see below in there.
Excellent. So the screenshots are very clear. That's very good. Kind of moving forward, it kind of poses the question: Can other companies, other clients benefit from your experience, having worked with Barchart, to use the model of DuTrade for Dew and Grain with other companies? Is that something that you may be looking to do in the future?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what we're looking to do. Is to there's other companies out there that are looking to solve the same issue and move forward with the times and offer their customers, a new experience. And no one's really focusing on that at the moment, which is much to my delight. But it's a case of speaking to those companies and then coming back, finding what they need, and if it's different markets, then Barchart, I'm sure, will have that data that I can pull through and present in their own app. So yeah, absolutely, it's a case we really want to go out there and speak to different companies, which we're doing at the moment, and being able to present that data and solve their problems mainly, and yeah, pulling it all from Barchart's offerings basically. And it is what kind of surprised me, not surprised me, but it did surprise me, to be fair. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. When I initially did this, I didn't know how we were going to present that, and I didn't know how it came about, and then it just kind of somehow worked out that me and you started speaking to Simon, and then it went from there, and then Barchart solved that issue. So yeah,
great. maybe a question that you might get asked later, but I'll ask it anyhow, is in terms of the amount of time and investment, how long would it take you to roll out a new client? I suppose every client needs a unique, whether you're looking at creating an app for a new client, whether you're looking at taking the data onto somebody's website or onto a third-party application. Could you maybe give us an idea of that kind of process from initial concept that might be a bit vague, and how you kind of handhold the client through to completion of the task, if that's okay?
Yes. So firstly, it will very much depend on what it is that you're looking for. If you're just looking to pull data and put it into your website, that wouldn't take very long at all. It would take the case of speaking to you guys, and then making sure that you can offer what that client is looking for. And then it would be a case of creating a page or putting it onto their homepage, wherever they want to have it, and then just getting your open API to connect with that and then display it on their screen. So that wouldn't take too long at all. If you're looking at your own bespoke app, the more customers we have on board, the more coding we have behind us, that therefore speeds up the process. But I think on average it's going to take realistically probably 3 months from start to finish. That's with everything else, but that's completely dependent on what they're looking to get within the app and what they're looking to do with it. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be the average time in terms of looking at those two sorts of things. And we can completely, I mean, really, we don't, as long as they tell us what they want in their thing, then we don't need to have their input the whole time. They've told us, we can then speak to you and use our existing relationship to get exactly what we need, and then transfer it across into whatever it is that the client wants. Yeah.
Great. That sounds like there's lots of scalability there, and the ability to get new clients as well together. Great. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing your experience with us there, Henry.
No worries. It was good. It was it's been very, very helpful, and it's like someone asked me before about how it's simplified my workflow, basically, how the data simplify my workflow. And it's a case of, it's for my client, for doing grain, say, it's there might be a few less people calling up and asking for that price, because they've got that accessibility on their mobile phone, being able to see it there and then. And we obviously wouldn't be able to do that without the data that you guys provide.
Okay, excellent.
Very good. We have a question from the audience for you. We get a little feedback. Simon, could you mute for a minute? There you go. Henry, question for the audience. And this might be precisely, but the question is, what would an app like doing require investment-wise? Number of resources, I mentioned 3 months. What would the all-in cost be, ballpark?
Sorry, I think that was aimed at me. There was a lot of an echo, and was I right in thinking that you were asking what it would cost, for what the cost would be?
Yeah, exactly. For an app like Doing Great. Okay. Just ballpark.
Yeah, ballpark, 10 grand to £1 million.
That's a big ballpark.
Yeah, no. It's you're going to be looking at a five-figure amount. That's I mean, you can Google it, and it says between sort of $40,000 to $300,000, depending on how bespoke. But we obviously don't. I mean, we can do, but we don't go up to $300,000. But I'm sure. But it's very much dependent on how much, how custom you want it, how bespoke. If there's things that we haven't done before, that we'd need to just completely invent the coding for, then that obviously takes a bit more time. When in the case that when you've got two similar customers come on, you've already got a backlog of coding that's that you can use, and you can kind of copy and paste, for sense of the better word, that would keep your costs down, but it's usually charged on a day rate times by the amount of days it takes to build. So again, it will depend on how it's not a case of out of the box things, you know, like out of the box offerings that we offer. It's yeah, it's very built around the client, but you could be looking at, you know, probably minimum 30 to, you know, could be 100 grand.
Okay, very good.
That's pounds.
Okay, and then the other part of that to consider, of course, actually two parts, would be the data feed. So the power that Barchart has a monthly fee for that, and that could be anywhere from say $750 a month to $1,750, $2,000, just as you said, Henry, depending on the scope of the project, and the number of data sources that are required for it. For real time, it could be, you know, much more than that. So it's kind of a ballpark again for a delayed feed, similar to what you were doing, Brain. Another question came in around exchange fees, and that's something in exchange policies and redistributing that data. That's something to certainly keep in mind, and that Barchart and Blue Ocean can help with. So we can help you, you know, design the apps to minimize the exchange fees by the fact that we remain the vendor of record with the exchange. So we're actually distributing the data to that end user via your app. You're not receiving that data and redistributing it. So that helps keep the end user's costs down pretty substantially as well. And again, we can help clients, you know, work through those policies and those fees to help minimize that. So, Simon, any more questions on your end there? Come in. All good? I'm not sure Simon can still hear us.
I'm fine, yep. No more questions for Henry. Thank you very much.
Okay, very good. Well, I just want to thank you all for joining us today, and thank you to our panel. Great discussion. I think very informative, hopefully informative for the attendees. If anybody would like follow-up information, you can contact your representative of Blue Ocean. You can contact Henry Doing directly or reach out to myself at Barchart. Thank you all very much and have a wonderful day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.